The land beyond the Atlantic was given a symbolic name, Virginia, honoring the Virgin Queen. It was not just naming, it was claiming destiny itself. The word carried purity, politics, and propaganda all at once. Sailors prepared ships with supplies, believing they were part of a divine expansion. One sailor carved into wood, Virginia, where England begins again. At the heart of England's expansion stood Queen Elizabeth I.
Your Majesty,
Her reign was defined by intelligence and restraint,
Then we shall fortify
but
our
also
claims.
by
Let the
competition
preparations
against
begin,
Spain's
Villains.
global empire. Exploration became a weapon of national identity. Sir Walter Raleigh rose as one of the most determined voices for expansion. He envisioned English civilization planted across the Atlantic, like roots of a growing empire. Raleigh declared, "We shall carry England across the scene, not as visitors, but as founders." The land beyond the Atlantic was given a symbolic name, Virginia, honoring the Virgin Queen. It was not just naming, it was claiming destiny itself. The word carried purity, politics, and propaganda all at once. Sailors prepared ships with supplies, believing they were part of a divine expansion. One sailor carved into wood, Virginia, where England begins again. The first real attempt to settle the New World came with Roanoke Island. Dense forests surrounded the settlers like a living wall. The air was heavy, unfamiliar, almost suffocating. The land was alive in a way England was not. The settlers realized quickly. This was not discovery, it was confrontation with nature itself. Days turned into survival tests. Food sources were unclear. Soil was unfamiliar. Rainstorms came violently without warning. Disease spread silently among men unused to the climate. The colony began to fracture psychologically. A colonist muttered, "This place does not welcome us. It watches us." Indigenous tribes observed the newcomers carefully. These were not empty lands, they were already structured, governed, and spiritually understood. Trade was attempted, but trust was fragile. An Algonquian leader warned, "The land has its own balance. Those who break it do not stay." By 1590, Roanoke was gone. No battle, no clear explanation, only silence. Carved into a tree was a single word, Croatoan. The sea wind moved through abandoned wood and remains as if the settlement had been erased from time itself. Explorer. It is as if the land swallowed them whole. England studied Roanoke not as defeat, but as instruction. Future colonization would require discipline, planning, and economic structure. Ambition did not die, it evolved. Raleigh stated, "Even failure is a map if you know how to read it." In 1606, the Virginia Company was formed. This was not just exploration, it was investment capitalism. Merchants funded voyages expecting profit, land, and resources. Board members agreed. "This time we do not gamble, we organize conquest." In 1607, ships anchored. Men stepped onto unstable ground. The settlement began immediately with fort construction. The air was thick and oppressive. Wooden posts struck soil repeatedly as survival architecture began. The colony was divided between gentlemen and laborers. Many refused physical work. John Smith imposed strict order. "Smith, if you do not build, you do not live." Winter collapsed the colony into desperation. Food vanished. Horses, dogs, and eventually human survival boundaries were crossed. Night became the most dangerous time. Whispers and darkness. How long until there's nothing left? Chief Powhatan ruled a vast network of tribes. His influence controlled survival access to food and territory. He observed the English carefully not as invaders alone, but as unpredictable forces. Powhatan. They are weak now, but weakness can grow into danger. Pocahontas became a symbolic bridge between two worlds after being captured. In captivity, she learned English language and customs. She once said, "I see two worlds, and neither knows how to speak to the other." John Rolfe introduced tobacco farming. The plant grew unexpectedly well. It transformed survival into economy. Farmers realized, this plant is more valuable than gold in this soil. Tobacco demand exploded in Europe. Land expanded outward. Labor systems intensified, shaping social hierarchy that would define centuries. Virginia shifted from fragile colony to economic engine. Settlements expanded beyond Jamestown. Roads, farms, and trading routes formed slowly. Survival gave way to structure. Colonists, we are no longer surviving. We are staying. In 1619, a new political structure emerged, the House of Burgesses. It was the first form of representative governance in the English Americas. A leader declared, "We speak not only for the crown, but for ourselves." Virginia became the foundation of English America. Its early chaos-shaped political systems, economy, and future colonies. What began as uncertainty became structure. Final narration from the edge of failure. A new world was built not by certainty but by survival.